you make contact. Okay.
Right, but the trick is when you ask for a let, you should ask for it immediately when the interference happens, not hit the ball and then ask for a let, right? So like, as you're going down, let, before you hit the ball.
Okay. now,
We're not that about thinkers.
Explain to them how you ask for a let.
You say, let please.
Okay, guys, no hands up, no nothing. Verbally, the referee, let, please,
Yeah.
and then everybody hears it.
So if you ever watch squash TV or some of the other stuff, you'll never see them ask for a let. Right? They just kind of look at you, right?
That's right, yeah.
That's them asking.
That
for a
happens,
let.
that
So
happens.
you- the eye.
For like more recreational players like me, when we had some very, very good players here in the past, and they, I hate to say it, but they were a little bit arrogant, and they would just
Oh, no.
stop, and then they would look daggers at me, because I'm saying, well, why did you stop? Well, it's so obvious, right? And it's like, well, I'm just like a club guy,
Yeah.
trying to do my part and referee here.
My third beer.
It's not obvious to me. You didn't ask for a let, and then, sparks fly.
Yeah.
So.
But that's what I'm getting at. is that
Yeah.
they-
So
You should.
So generally what happens with that, and I've had that happen, where the guy kind of looks and I go, are you asking for a let? Right? Just ask him, right? Why you stop? And if they don't ask, I'll just call the score, like you lost the point. No, they go, what do you mean? But you have to ask for a let.
Right.
So that's a good point.
With a hand up doesn't matter.
And then during the rally,
So
you mean?
asking me literally.
You have to
verbally,
ask.
Verbally.
Verbally you have to.
Okay, so no more hands
The
up.
rules say you have to ask for the
Wave it at me again.
Yeah.
Favorite of the referee?
Yeah.
So the player can asks for the let, so you let please. And then the referee has three choices, right? So you can say yes let, and that's the response you make is yes let. Or it can be no let, or it can be stroke to so-and-so, right? So dismiss, right? So if I'm only the striker of the ball can ask for the let, right? So you're the striker. When you serve, you're the striker. As soon as the ball hits the front wall, the other person is the striker, right? So now only they can ask for let. So if you hit the ball and then ran into the other guy, right? You can't ask for the let. He has to ask for the let. If he doesn't ask for the let, he doesn't have to. Just because there's obstruction doesn't mean you have to ask for a let, right? Just because you're interfering with it, you can just still go ahead and play the ball. Right? There's no rule that says you have to stop. Right? But you don't want to bowl the other guy over.
But you can't ask for a stroke.
You ask for a let, and the stroke is awarded based on the
Awarded by the referee.
awarded by the referee. That's correct. And the no lets and most of that are really done by interference. Whether there's typically no interference, so you say no let. What other things should
I have a question, Les.
Sure, Bill.
You're refereeing a match, and then the rally's going on, and then there's a point where the guy's maybe going to the front court. His body is blocking your view of the ball.
Yep.
And the way the ball bounces, it looks like you're thinking in your mind, that was probably a double bounce, and it bounced funny, whatever, because it wasn't a normal bounce, right?
Right.
But you didn't concisely see it.
Right.
And then, the other guy, the other player, who wasn't striking the ball, says, well, that ball was down, but you didn't see it.
Right.
So when you can't
So if they can't see it, I
100%
can't.
see it, you play a let?
So I can't, if I can't see it,
Yeah.
right? So like your case, I'm
Yeah.
blocked from my view back here.
Yeah.
I can't see the exact intersection, right? I can't see the ball.
Yeah.
I'll ask the other player, did you get the ball? Right? And the player says no, and I'll usually play a let if I can't
Yeah.
see it, and they've disputed,
Yeah.
Generally, players are pretty honest.
You'll ask the striker, did you get that ball?
Right.
Then, the opponent, you say, do you thought he got that ball? And he said, no, he didn't, it was double bounce. So then,
Double
play a
play.
let.
Right, yeah. That's the fix. The idea, the whole philosophy is to have, the referee's job is to make sure it's a fair outcome for the game, right? So what's the fair outcome of one thing? So if you have any dispute of what's fair and what's not fair, you know, that'd be a fair thing. I didn't see it, you know, there's a dispute, we'll play a lap again. Rather than, the rule says I didn't see it, I can't go on.
Are you going through like slides of like?
I'll give you some
scenarios?
examples. Yeah,
Okay,
oh, absolutely,
good.
yeah. Without examples, it's kind of like
Okay,
you're just
all right.
talking, right? You know. There's some pros in here that, it's pretty good.
Question on turning.
Turn,
Is that part of the interference or is turning?
so turning is not part of this, but yeah, so turning's good rule. So
Yeah.
turning is defined as what? You know what turning is?
No.
Well, that's why I'm asking the question. 'cause there seems to be some-
So turning is say,
63.
so if the ball comes out one side and in one side and out the other, right? So if I serve, right, I'm ready to take my backhand serve, the ball comes out this way and I turn and now I'm taking on my forehand, that's turning. But I can do turning a bunch of different ways, I don't necessarily have to be, but that's the classic example is.
Yeah, you
on a
turn it
serve,
around, basically, you make it
turn
turn around
and
and
hit the ball. So, the rule of turning is that, you should ask for a lap, right?
Safety lap kind of idea.
Right, now, the trick is you have to be able to hit the ball, right?
That's the
So if the
question.
ball nicks out and you can't hit it, it's no lap, right? But if you turn and hit the ball, you can hit the ball, right? So there's nothing to say you can't hit the ball. But say if I'm the striker now and I hit the other player with the ball on the way, anywhere, right, inside wall or front wall, if I hit the other player gets a stroke, right? I'm penalized a stroke for playing the turn ball.
Oh,
Because you played it on a turn.
Because I played it on a turn. So if I missed him and played it down the wall,
You
right,
should have called a let.
I should have called a let.
Yeah.
Right? If I ask for a let, as long as I can reasonably play the ball,
Yeah.
and there's a reasonable fear that if the guy's sitting over there, right, and I can see him, and I've got the whole front wall, right, well, I should just hit the ball, right? But I will always give a let because it's safe.
So are you basically in a way saying that if you turn, it's unless it's obvious that you have a winning shot there, that's
Well, no, even if you had a winning shot,
it's
there's
basically a left. It's an
it's a
automatic
let.
left.
It's a let.
But you have to make the turn.
Assuming it was
though.
playable. Assuming
A
it was
winning shot
playable.
doesn't apply to
Yeah,
turn.
yeah.
So the question is though, you say you have to be in position, so. Because
have to be able to hit the
now,
ball.
I'm sitting here on my backhand,
Yeah.
guy gets a nice serve up there, oh crap, it goes past me, I gotta turn around and go, yeah, let please, because I don't wanna make the effort, because I'm
Yeah.
already third
Yeah,
game
but-
in, I'm dead tired.
That is turn.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta
So
turn
technically, you must make an effort to go
make
the
the
ball.
turn, yeah, that's what
You
I'm
must make
saying.
an effort to play the ball.
Demonstrate that
Demonstrate that you could get the ball.
I could have hit the ball, but I said stop because I don't want to hit
Right,
So,
Doug in the back of the head with the ball.
exactly.
again, so you said,
So there's a story behind it.
No, no.
Look at him.
Curry don't-
He's been hit a couple of times, Ned, not a beat.
So, you said though that if you still play it and you hit the person, it's a stroke to the other person. If that person is still, like, from what I understood from a couple years ago, is from the ball to the two front corners.
Yeah, no matter what, doesn't matter.
Doesn't
If he's-
matter, he's
Doesn't
in
matter
right
if
in the
he's in the
middle.
middle or if he's off to the
Okay.
sidewall, if,
You hit them, you're screwed.
because you turned.
Because I turned.
yes, sure. Now, if you hit the ball and it goes down the wall, say, whatever, right? So generally, what I'll say is, the rally will be ended and then you win the point, say, right? But I'll say, please don't turn and hit the ball. It's dangerous play, right? And
Is that a warning or is that just a
I'm just
commentary?
So generally with the conduct stuff, is like the warnings and stuff that the referee would give. You would start out with just saying, remind them that don't do that, right? So conduct is a bunch of different things. Sportsmanlike, turning is dangerous play.
Foul language.
Foul language, yes.
What about conduct from the wall?
Let me interrupt for 1 second. No, I can't remember when, you remember when Joel played his first tournament, he went down to played in the Ontario C, closed, whatever. And I don't know if you were refereeing him, because I wasn't there that night. Because he said, the ref he had, he said he was a good guy, so it might have been you, but you know Joel, when he's playing, he said, fuck! So the ref, said, you can't do that. You gotta stop that. So that he did it again, and then he lost the point for it.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. Then he almost did the next time. They looked at whoever the ref was. I don't know if it was you or not, but looked at the ref, and they're both smiling, going, "Yeah, okay, I got it." Yeah.
Yeah, so the rule is, generally, if you say something like, you know, there's like blasphemy, like God damn it or something like that, right? Something like that. You know, that's technically okay. That's a warning, right? So there's a level of I can say something for a conduct. I can say, you know, don't hit your racket against the wall, right? That's racket abuse, ball abuse, or you know, physical abuse. There's a bunch of things like that. So say I say, you know, please don't hit your racket against the wall, right? So I can then say it's a conduct warning that says basically it's a conduct warning for to so and so for such and such, right? So you know, conduct warning to Jones for racket abuse, right? And so then you would note in your sheet, 3, that you gave a conduct warning to so and so at such and such a point. There's a little section at the bottom here. I don't know if you can see. Here, I'll hold it up higher.
You never use those?
So you'd say that, you know, here's the context and stuff. So,
Those are.
Well,
Those
those
are
are-
those are our sheets, we just don't use them.
That's why we go on the Squash Ontario website, but we don't use that part.
I'm gonna be the first, I'm up repping a couple weeks, I'm gonna use it.
So warning is the first level, right? So if it happens again, so they wrap their racket on the wall again, you can say conduct stroke, right, for racket abuse. And if it gets worse, the escalation is a game, conduct game, and a conduct match.
Well, here it's usually a broken racket, followed by the other broken racket.
I've been there, done that. Good.
From a whistling racket from the back wall to the front.
Oh, yes.
So
Followed by the-
I think I've only given a conduct game, actually it was a conduct match once, when the guy threw the racket out of the court into the crowd.
Whoa.
And it was after the match was over, he lost, and he threw the racket into the crowd.
Was that me, Les?
Well, it's not you.
Oh.
It's a junior, not that old. But, and then we had a problem with this guy all the time. And he was a really good player, but his mental was not good.
Temperament was not.
Temperament was not good. Yeah, he may be running for president. I don't know. But he actually quit the game. He stopped playing completely after that. It's too bad because he's a good kid.
So if somebody walks off the court because they don't think the referee made the right call, is that conduct?
So technically that is conduct. Yeah.
Right.
That's non-sportsmanlike.
Yeah.
Because let's say the person's a hothead and they're saying, no, fuck you.
Yeah.
You know, this is my point.
So the language, so
But if he walks off the court, he
Yeah.
loses
That game?
That game is
It's
done.
game though, right? That's a game.
That's not-
So yeah,
Doesn't
so typically, you know, they would say some blasphemy or damn or something like this would be a warning, right? But if you said the 4-letter friend getter, it would be right
Good
now.
call.
It's a stroke right now.
Friend together.
I've been doing it wrong.
So if you walk off the court, you lose that game,
Okay.
right?
What if it's the
You got
end of the
90
game?
seconds to get back.
What if it's the end of the game? Like you're stormed off, like you're all pissed at the end of the game. Do you lose the next game automatically? Is that it? No.
Well, the game is over. The game's over, right? Then you've got 90 seconds between games to
you
get
can
back.
Ken.
All right.
It's like a walk-off piss between games.
Now, what you can do is some guys get off the court and they slam the door, right?
Yeah.
So, or they throw the racket in the corner after the game. Right?
Yeah.
So generally, what I would do is they wait for them to get back on the court after the game. The game starts again. Before they serve, I'd say, you know, conduct stroke so and so for, you know, court abuse. Right? That's what they do. So they start out at 1 lump.
Actually, here at Dixie, Les, when you go 5 games, between the 4th and 5th, you get 15 minutes.
3 beers, 15 minutes.
Oh. So do you want to have some food now?
Yeah, let's take a break and we'll go on.
Okay,
You ready?
We'll do a couple more. I'm just gonna get the salad ready then.
Okay,
Give me-
so,
give me 5 minutes max, and then we'll.
Okay, very good.
Okay.
Got a quick
Question, yeah. Smelly farts. Is that a deliberate distraction, or what would you?
That's a drop shot. That's a great
Oh.
drop shot.
After, the night after drinking?
That could
You're
be a
at night?
distraction.
Deliberate, or what if it's not deliberate? Accident.
Well,
Yeah.
it's still a distraction.
Still a truck, yeah.
What about footfalls? Like, what's that whole
Footfall?
three footfalls?
What's a football?
That's
What is
the question, how it goes, what's
I'm the
really.
only one that calls it football.
Oh, do you? Oh.
Occasionally he does.
Yeah.
He's nice to us.
So, we rarely call footfalls, but the rule is that you must have some part of your foot on the floor inside the box. So you don't have to have 2 feet or 1 feet, but you can't be straddling the line, right? It has to be, you can just have your toe up
Inside the box.
inside the box, right?
You have
So if
your
you
foot-
put your foot on the line, then you're out of the line.
So you can't lift that inside foot up at all?
Not
It
technically.
actually has to be
Has to be
on the
touch-
ground?
Has to be touching the floor
When the strike is hit.
when you hit the ball.
Because sometimes you'll actually see guys with
Yeah, so
what
some
looks
people,
to be legal.
well, they'll come up and
drag.
do this,
And
right?
then, and then they'll lift,
Right, they'll drag their
Or
foot
they
across.
drag their foot.
I'm not thinking dragging, I'm thinking actually lift. There are some guys that'll lift. They'll lift.
That's gotta be the old lady.
They'll lift to walk.
Yeah, so technically that's football.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's not what's called very often though.
So there used to be 2 faults way a long time ago. Now you only get 1 fault. So if that's a fault, right? So it's a foot fault and you lose point. Or to the other person.
So in other words, when you're serving, you're looking-
Now, is there anything be in front of the line? You know, the serving line is the front serving line.
So-
You
so-
cross with 1 foot across that front line, or is it have to be, you have to be?
So you just have to have some part of your foot on the floor inside the box.
But your foot would be in front of the line.
In front of the line.
The other foot could be anywhere you want.
Anywhere you want, okay.
If you release.
If you're that long.
That's how long your feet are.
Yeah.
And so can somebody actually, I was directing the other night and I saw it for the first time, normally we see stationary strikers. You can actually walk into the court and as long as you've got 1 foot planted properly inside, when you're striking the ball, it doesn't matter. You can take a run at it if you
Sure.
wanted. Okay.
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore.
Is he?
Jump serve then as well? Can you jump as long as
No, you have to be on the floor. You have to have a foot on the floor.
One foot
If it's a jump serve, you're off the floor.
Yeah,
One long leg.
even if you land in.
Doesn't hit.
You have to have 1 foot.
Strike has
When
to-
you're striking, you need to have this. So you're very graceful when you do
Never seen
that.
anybody do a jump serve.
Yeah.
Should have been here last Monday.
Hold my beer.
So certainly I won't call it.
That's how Scott's got the booze on his
And if they spill their drink on the court, what
I
happens?
remember one time I was doing an exhibition match.
If they spill their drink on the court, what
Johnny
happens?
White, I don't know if everybody has ever seen a guy called Johnny White. He had the record for the fastest squash ball ever hit, 170 miles an hour or something like this. Really good guy, but he was doing an exhibition in Montreal.
Yes.
And he would walk right out of the box, like he would literally, he'd be serving almost in the other, like a backhand on the wall. He's like way out of the box, right? So I was marking and I said, I'm gonna call a foot fault on Johnny White.
See what happens.
And the referee, Dave Howard was like, he said, go right ahead. So I called foot fault on him, right? And it was like, what? 17 years as a professional, I've never had a foot fault called on me. And he appeals to the referee, goes, yeah, it's a foot fault. It was fun.
When you're serving, it has, if it touches any part of the red cut line, it's down.
So all the, in tennis, all the lines are in, in squash, all the lines are out.
Right.
Right?
That's a good way to, that's good. All the lines are
All the lines are out.
Period. All the lines are up.
So if you touch the line, the service line, out. Right?
Floor lines up.
Floor lines are out.
Upper area lines up.
Yeah, the other lines, courts are out. Any part of that line touches that.
And again, as the ref, if you see it, you should call it out. at that
Call it right
moment.
away
Yeah.
and stop the play.
Yeah.
So if they keep playing, you gotta stop.
And but an appeal like where you didn't see it as a ref and the other.
Or if
that's
it's
the
close
same
and I don't know.
That's the same appeal before, right?
Serious appeal?
You play through your thing, and as a player, you would appeal to the ref at the end,
Right.
saying, "I wonder about that. Was that up?"
Is that out?
Yeah.
So you can't, as you're receiving, you can't say, I think it's out, so I'm not.
Stop.
I'm not
Well,
gonna-"
you can say it's
Oh,
out.
But you're
Right, right,
risking
And the
you're
referee
risking
says
being wrong.
the ball's in.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, you're risking the fact that.
You're risking it, yeah, it's like any of the other ones, right? You're
Yeah.
risking your life is in the hands of the referee. See if you saw it. So
And if he
see what
says, I don't think, I don't see it, to let automatically, then the guy gets a serve
Well, if you
again.
stop, so you've lost the point.
No.
Well, if he didn't see it, he would normally say, I wasn't cited.
Yeah.
We'll play around.
Yeah.
Is there a minimum distance to like interfere? So let's say you're gonna hit the shot and somebody's really close to you, do you call a let? Because you can't make your full swing? Like if you feel like he's behind you and you're going for the shot, but you don't wanna hurt him, for example.
Well,
Is there
so-
like a minimum
So
like
there's,
foot?
well, the term, I think we termed it, is reasonable fear of injury.
Okay.
Right? So one of the reasons for you to ask for a let is there's a reasonable fear, like you were too close, I was in this, you know, like, I may not have been completely in the swing, but you were kind of, you know, like you're back here and
Right.
I couldn't swing.
Sometimes we play
Or you're,
close,
you're up here and I can't, I don't wanna hurt you, or, you know, or you're off to the side, but I'm gonna play over there and I don't wanna, it's not against the front wall, but I don't wanna hit you, right? So that's, so the referee would say, yes, there's a reasonable fear of injury, that, you know, you get a let.
So do you stop
But-
playing, or do you, like, do you
So
ask for a let?
So you ask for a let.
Okay.
Right, and if you say, well, why'd you ask for a let? You'd say, well, I thought he was gonna hit him.
Okay.
And that's a reasonable fear of injury, so the referee would say, okay, yes, let, okay.
So the other question is.
So it might be just, but if you're way clear, right, the person's like way over there and you just didn't know where he was, that's
your
not
fault.
on him.
That's your fault, okay, good. That was my other question.
Okay, sorry.
I know you already nailed it, so that was it.
So what's a reasonable follow through though? Because some guys have a large backhand or a large follow through,
Right.
right? And sometimes the follow through, they hit you in the follow through, you try to get a shot in the rack,
So
around or whatever.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be covered here.
Okay.
The-
Come up here.
Dirk, what I consider is a reasonable swing.
Yeah.
Is I can go from here to there, right? That, if you've got that path to hit the ball, that, you're not gonna get swing interference, right? And if you take an excessive swing, that can be a penalty to you for dangerous play.
Uh-huh. Could you repeat that?
So if you have a
That's a very big one, pay attention. Sorry, can somebody get my word on the phone?
So if I have a very large swing and I'm like taking these giant swings, right?
Richie.
Taking people's heads off. You know, the referee would say, you know, that's an excessive swing and that's dangerous, right? So stop, don't take such an excessive swing.
Can't afford to lose tennis players in this club though, right?
No, I know, tennis players are great.
Yeah, so it's, I've had to do it a few times where the players, you know, like they'll ask for a let and the other person's trying to get, you know, like they duck it, they rack it, right? So they get a let because they've interfered with them getting the ball.
Right.
Not good at all. So back to the conduct, you get a stroke on conduct. You lose your serve as well, not that that's gonna happen very often, but if I happen to be the serving guy, walk back into court, I was gonna serve, I just pissed for some reason, and you give him a conduct stroke, do I lose my serve?
It's par scoring, of course, you have to.
Well, actually, penalty strokes are penalty strokes. So we've had this discussion, and my take is that typically you would always lose the stroke anyway because you're appealing for something that you did. Right?
Yeah.
Or you're mad at something, you slammed your racket in the wall, or just, you know, you've lost the point already. But technically, no, right?
Okay.
There's nothing that says you have to, you lose your serve.
Okay, so you lose the point but not the serve.
Right. Like if you,
It's probably rare.
if you had a conduct in the game before, right, even though you won the game, you'd start at level 1, and still serve.
You're not gonna try that here, are you, Doug?
Be a great
You
shot.
see me, I'm probably one of the person with the racket warning with the way I throw them in the air, so.
You have to win the game too.
I know, it's a rarity there.
Are you ready there, Billy? Or are you-
One more minute left,
what?
good to go.
All right.
Come on, Dirk, fill it.
Just, somebody misplaced the good scissors, I don't know where they are.
Cut my hair with a bill, don't worry about it.
Actually, you know what, I can just,
Go ahead.
Go, Andrew. Go, Andrew.
Basic question, like, how do you see what happens in the corners?
Yeah, no,
Do
I
you
just-
actually like lean out a little bit, or?
Yeah.
good to go.
Yeah, here.
Here you have difficulty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would have to lean out.
Yeah, you gotta lean out, yeah.
When you lean out, you can't see it always.
And no matter where there are different positions you can be, you know, like you're just not gonna have good sight lines, right? And you kind of, it's nice to have two people, like a marker and referee, you can have different angles, so you can coordinate. We're talking with some little different, the Nationals will probably do, they've gone through different experimental ways of having, you know, one referee, one marker, you know, 3 referees. There's a 3 referee system in the rules, so there's a central referee and side referees, kind of like in racquetball.
Line judges, I know what.
Line judges,
we call.
yeah, line judges, yeah. And then there's, in the PSA now, they went with 3 referees and a video referee. So they would have a video appeal. So you could say, you know, there was a decision by the 3 referees of, you know, whatever, let, stroke or whatever, and the person could ask for a video review. And then we get 2 video reviews per game.
So it's another tennis now.
And like tennis, right? So there's a line, so you get so many appeals. Tennis cent is 3 or 4. Per Saturday.
So that'll be something else set.
I think it's per Saturday. But this year the PSA have gone down to a referee and a video referee. That's it.
But why the sideline guy, you don't get a video anyways.
Exactly. So, and they cut down the number of referees they have to have, and it's much easier to control a match. So part of being a referee is controlling the players, right? So if they're not behaving. Yeah, it cuts down expenses. It does actually.
It does,
Yeah.
More prize money.
Because you have to put more prize money. The players love it. Yeah. So part of being a referee is control the match, right? If the players are not getting back to the tee, not being ready to serve quickly enough, the game is supposed to be continuous, right?
How long is that time? Can you bounce the ball and hit it 1,000 times and wait and then hit it because you're tired? Like sometimes, that does happen.
Well, so one of the conducts is delay of game. Right?
Okay.
So
how long is that?
Well, it's not really. What do they call it? Time wasting.
Well, no, it's called a Sterling, is what it is.
So there is nothing in the rules that say you have to serve within 30 seconds.
Okay.
So it's a. There's nothing in the rules, but it's generally what I would do is to say, please play it, right? Please be continuous, right? So you don't let people just hit the ball forever. And I know there's a couple players that they would just love to 25 bounces of the ball, right? And they do it in the first game, right?
Yeah, the guys who quick serve too.
Yeah, there's guys who serve.
Quick serve.
But it was more the delay stuff, right? I'm tired and
Yeah.
so even the first game they're setting up, I bounce the ball 25 times. That's what I do, right? So when I get to the 5th game and I bounce it 25 times, it's not. So generally I usually stop it like right off the bat when they start. Please.
So on the contrary, I think Corey said quick serve.
Yeah.
You're rushing and then you're hitting it, and then let's say the referee calls a score. Does the other opponent, let's say he's still walking? And
So
The ref's up.
That was what I said.
Control, right?
So if that's a good point. So if I serve the ball and I'm not ready,
yes.
right? So I could be wiping my hand against the wall or I wasn't ready, right? So you served it and I make no effort to play the ball and I just basically appeal and the person has to reserve.
Okay.
Right? As a referee, I don't actually make any call. I don't actually say anything. It just goes back. Don't even call the score again.
But as a ref, to some degree, though, you're sort of, would you not sort of be sort of making sure
So
that
if he should have
everybody's
been
sort of
ready-
set?
If he should have been ready.
Right? Like, I mean, it's one thing, you don't want, if the guy knows the guy's fatigued and he's trying to play quickly, you want to allow him to do that. But to some degree, you're not going to say the score until people sort of should be reasonably ready, right?
So I say the score whenever I'm ready.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Whenever
you're ready.
So
Okay.
so part of the deal is like you talked about making keep track of the score, right? So the rally ends. I'll write my whatever it is down. 2-2, 2-all, right? So I will call the score right away.
So the guys, it's a question. So the ball's now on the floor in the front. So I'm walking
Yeah.
to the front to get the ball.
Yeah.
Right? You're up. You've done your score. Okay, it's 4-3.
4-3. Yep.
I'm at the front walking to get the ball or whatever else,
Yeah.
right? But what happens if I'm in the back here, the ball's in the back, I pick it up, I'm in the corner, my opponent's up in the far corner, you've ready to score, he's still walking back
Yeah.
to get to the box and set up, and you're ready to score, can I serve?
No.
Right, okay, so it's up to the,
So the other player has to be ready,
yes.
right? If he takes, he does the circuit. I've seen guys do, touch every wall on the way back. Right? And I go
Nice
like,
job.
Been to Dixie, eh?
Plus, you have a read on the situation, and you don't call the score till at least they're.
So I call the score when I'm ready. So
Yeah.
if they're taking too much time, I'll say, please
Give them a warning.
be faster, right?
Yeah,
And if they continue to be slow, then I'll say, conduct warning for time wasting, right?
yeah.
So you just, so the, most of the, the tournament players and stuff, when you do that, especially the PSA guys are especially good because if they get a conduct stroke against them, it's a 100-pound fine.
Is it?
Or
Wow.
might even be 200 pounds now.
Wow.
Let's do that here.
So
Up here.
and they get
Well, pounds, guys,
and it
pounds,
goes kind of on their
not
record.
dollars.
And if they get too many of these,
Pounds.
they get more fines.
Or
right?
5 times a weight.
Wow.
So they
Some of us have
don't
all
like
kinds
getting
of
conduct strokes against them.
Anyway, Les, you can have a break. Boys, the plates, cutlery, napkins, and then we have pork tenderloin, scallop potato, Caesar salad.